Good evening, everyone. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance led by Councilmember Brandon McCullough. We are going to start tonight with a tribute, so I'm going to pass the floor over to Councilwoman Budzinski.
Yes, thank you, Madam President. This is a tribute signed, a life and legacy tribute for Kate Krzyzewski. I won't read, signed by the mayor and council. Kate was a Livonia resident, a mother, nurse, lawyer, and tireless community organizer. She served as the president of the Livonia Democratic Club and prioritized philanthropy to local and global causes as much as politics. Kate bravely fought cancer for many years and will be missed by all who knew her. And recognition for her life and her loss for those who loved her. If we could take a moment of silence. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, jumping into the meeting. Welcome to the 2044th regular meeting of Livonia City Council. This is a voting meeting. Minutes of this meeting will be approved at the next regular meeting scheduled to be held on Monday, July 27th, 2026. Will the clerk please take the roll?
Councilmember McCullough.
Here.
Councilmember McDonald.
Here.
Councilmember Budzinski.
Here.
Councilmember Persicone.
Here.
Councilmember Tashnik.
Here.
Vice President Brockway.
Here.
President Reed.
Here, and we have 7 members present. I will now entertain a motion for the minutes from the regular meeting of the City Council held on June 15th, 2026. Do I have a motion?
Motion to approve.
Support.
Motion by Budzinski, support by McCullough. Any comments from the audience? Council? Madam Clerk, please take the vote.
Councilmember McCullough.
Aye.
Councilmember McDonald.
Aye.
Councilmember Budzinski.
Aye.
Councilmember Persicone.
Aye.
Councilmember Tashnik.
Aye.
Vice President Brockway.
Aye.
President Reed.
Aye, and the minutes pass 7-0. We will now move on to audience communication. The council has set aside 30 minutes for audience communication for items that are not on the agenda. I know we had someone in the back that wanted to do audience communication, so we'll start back there if you're ready. And whenever you're ready, you can start.
I'll start when she talks.
Name and address for the record, please.
I know, I'll restart it when she starts. It's easier than trying to.
My name's Kimberly. Can you hear me? My
I don't,
name's
just hang on one second. Hey, Frank, I don't think it's on. Is Frank here today? Who's here today? Chris, I don't think it's working. Her mic back there.
I can scream.
I will. I'll restart when she's ready.
Check, check.
Hi.
Perfect. All right.
Okay. My name's Kimberly Sneer. I spoke 2 months ago about the smart millage and needing more transportation in the city. I know a lot of us are for it and a lot of us are against it. I just want to say that I took the city transportation here tonight and I had to get here at 6 o'clock for your 7 o'clock meeting, and I was the last ride for the night. So, if anybody could give me a ride home, I am all for getting transportation home. Either that or I have to call my 81-year-old mother. And at 49 years old, I don't want to have to keep doing that. We need transportation alongside our city transportation, because we need to be able to go outside the city and enjoy what other communities are partaking in. My boyfriend and I were able to go to Royal Oak this weekend, but that's only because he can drive and he's also in a wheelchair. I can't drive, and he lives in South Haven, Michigan. So he came in and he drove us around just so I could see another city besides Livonia. I won't take all my time, but we do need transportation, and it's less than you're paying for gas right now. Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, 18297 Norwich, Livonia, Michigan, 48152.
Thank you. Okay, we'll start over here. Name and address for the record, please. You have 3 minutes.
Harmony Lloyd. My address is 1612 Grayfield, Birmingham, Michigan. And I am the Deputy General Manager and COO of SMART. And this was not planned, I promise you, but I really thank the last speaker for sharing her story, because it's the type of things that we hear every day in the course of our work. I am not here this evening to tell anyone how to vote on August 4th. My purpose is simply to share what the proposed transit plan means for the city of Livonia and the residents you serve. Over the past several years, SMART has worked closely with Livonia's leadership and residents to better understand the community's transportation needs. The service improvements being proposed are not ideas developed in a vacuum. They are based on feedback from your residents and recommendations included in Livonia's 2024 Mobility Needs Assessment. If the millage is improved, Livonia will see a significant increase in transit service. First, residents would gain expanded fixed route bus service along major corridors, including 7 Mile, Plymouth, Haggerty, and Middle Belt, creating more transportation options for people traveling to work, to classes, medical appointments, and those that want to travel to Canton or Westland or Oakland County. In addition to the service provided by the larger buses, older adults and residents with disabilities who cannot use traditional fixed route service would now have access to Smart Connector, the small buses that provide curb-to-curb transportation by picking riders up directly from their homes and taking them to their desired location. There would also be a substantial increase in support for Live and Go. We know there is a need for expanded service hours and greater capacity, and SMART is committed to developing a partnership between our very popular on-demand flex service and Live and Go. Today, SMART already provides significant support to Live and Go, including 8 buses, which cost a total of approximately $1.5 million. If the millage passes, Live and Go would also gain access to the VIA scheduling software platform used by SMART's other community transit partners. This technology would improve scheduling efficiency and is expected to save the city approximately $100,000 a year. I also want to be transparent about what is at stake. If the SMART millage does not pass, SMART will no longer be able to operate any transit service in Wayne County. That means the support SMART provides to Live and Go
That is time,
would come
ma'am.
to an end.
Thank you.
That's my end. Thank you.
Thank you. Good evening, sir. Name and address for the record, please. You have 3 minutes.
Joe Gilligan, one of your Livonia Arts Commissioners, 9610 Livonia Street. First off, little Art Commissioner news. We're going to be having our Music from the Heart series at the Skameski Veterans Park, 14407 Stark Road. And for those of you who are interested in Music from the Heart, they'll be there now. But anyway, Councilwoman Bazinski kind of beat me to the punch here, but I'm here to give a little tribute to Kate Siskowski as well. So, as Councilwoman Bazinski mentioned, she was the president of the Livonia Democratic Club. She's been the president for 8 to 9 years, and she transformed a club that would meet at the Quality Inn on Plymouth Road that would have at most maybe 12 people in the room to arguably one of the largest clubs in the state. With her leadership, she brought many people in Livonia together, not only just through the club, but also through community events, such as being one of the people who pushed forward for the Livonia Pride event here in Livonia. And just on a personal note on how much Kate has made a great impact. Kate was a lawyer, she was a nurse, because she believed in helping people, and that's actually sorry, stumbling on my words here, but it is true that Kate was a person that wanted to help people. I remember her giving me advice whenever I would have a mental problem or even trouble with my family. When, for example, like around last year, my dad was in a horrific car accident, and she was there to comfort me and let me know if there was anything that she could do or help, even late into her life where she was a little slower and not as helpful as she used to, but she was still there to help those who were in need. Rest in peace. To me, doesn't do justice. She also deserves rest in power. Kate, you were a great person, and you have helped move Livonia forward. And we hope that your encouragement and your message will help move Livonia more forward and make this community a better place. Thank you.
Thank you. Good evening, sir. Name and address, please. You have 3 minutes.
My name is Bob Hauser. I live at 14792 Hubbard, and I'm here tonight just to give you an update on Wild Ones activities here in Livonia. On June 20th, we appeared alongside of Livonia's Greenleaf Committee at their native plant sale. I don't know how much they made off the sale, but there were an awful lot of people who walked away with plants there. There's an awful lot of interest in native plants here in Livonia, and it's growing. Wild Ones itself has about 25 members, and I have to say there's at least a couple dozen non-members who are also interested in native plants. Throughout the summer, Wayne County Wild Ones holds member-to-member yard tours, which I sent you all invites to of the last 2 Livonia ones. I'd like you to all to come. I hope we have one more Livonia tour in August of 2 yards, August 16th. Come, get better acquainted with sustainable native landscaping. If you hate it, let us know. That's what we're there for, open discussions. And if you love it or you don't know anything about it, come, let us know. I take away something from every single one of these yard tours, and I've been doing this since 2010. Last Wednesday, we went to a Dearborn Heights member, and her native plant garden was phenomenal, and she had garden art to tie it all in. It was something to see. You would have been impressed with that. But August 16th, our last Livonia one. If you can't make that and you just want a private tour, email me and I can arrange it with any one of our Livonia residents. Let's see. On Wednesday, I'll be attending the Greenleaf Commission's meeting to present 3 community programs that are designed to improve and build on Livonia's biodiversity and sustainability. And the programs are the National Wildlife Federation's Mayor's Monarch Pledge, the National Wildlife Federation Community Certification, and Xerces Bee City. All these bring attention to the city in a positive way. There's only a few cities here in the region that are participating already, and they're all in. I would like to get Livonia's involvement in that as well. And all these programs provide a structured means to build our biodiversity in all of our remaining green spaces. Also, at each one of these events, somebody who's familiar with Livonia or lives in Livonia comes to me and asks about the native plant ordinance.
Sorry, sir, that is time. Good evening. Name and address, please. You have 3 minutes.
Samantha Lewis, 29815 Hoy, and I'm sharing an excerpt from a letter I recently sent to Mayor Brosnan and Chief Goralski. Madam Mayor, I'm writing to share a recent experience with the LPD. As a lifelong Livonia resident, I've always considered myself a supporter of this department. I'm a proud graduate of the Citizens Police Academy, an experience so meaningful I encouraged my family to participate in later sessions, and they did. I've also been fortunate that until recently I've never had occasion to file a police report. That changed when a current customer called my business with a question, presumably about insurance, and that question was quickly cast aside with requests to send pictures and the statement that he was masturbating to the sound of my voice. When I told him I'd hang up unless he had insurance questions, he asked if we were on a recorded line and requested that I call him back on an unrecorded line so he could finish up. I hung up, shocked and certain I no longer wanted him as a client. A trusted contact at his insurance carrier advised me to file a police report as a first step in removing him from my business. To be clear, I did not expect the department to take action against this individual. My purpose was to create a record so that if he later posed a physical danger to myself or my employees, there would be a paper trail of prior sexual harassment. LPD's consistent public message and what I saw behind the scenes at the Academy is that they care about protecting our community. And so I believe them, and I expected to be taken seriously. Instead, at the front counter, I was met with skepticism, rolled eyes, and repeated discouragement from filing a report at all. Even after I agreed with them when I was verbally told, we can't do anything about that, and I agreed, I still had to strongly insist on a paper trail. The report was taken begrudgingly, with distracted attention, at the counter in front of others waiting in the lobby. It turns out that my expectations when I walked into the station were a rather low bar, and the department still failed to meet it. Again, to be clear, I'm not concerned about myself. This was a nominal incident in the grand scheme of things in life. But small moments are where trust is gained and lost, especially with our first responders. I'm really concerned for others approaching LPD in far more traumatic circumstances, being met with the same skepticism. And based on this interaction, it's very clear that this department does not treat everyone who seeks its help equally. My aspiration is that the department strives to do better for the city, its residents, and visitors. Thank you.
Thank you. Good evening, ma'am. Name and address for the record, please. You have 3 minutes.
I'm Alyssa, and I have 2 concerns as a citizen. One is regarding the Livonia Fire and Police millage coming up. My concern is, why doesn't Livonia take out from a general fund like most other cities to pay for fire and police? Secondly, I want to know what equipment this millage will allot for. The council has decided last fall that it was okay for the taxpayers of the city to pay almost close to $300,000 for a 2-year contract, minus a 37% grant from the state, with a third-party surveillance system out of Atlanta, Georgia. So now all of our information regarding our car, where we go, such as mosque, religious facilities, or anywhere, is being tracked without a warrant. This is a slippery slope under the guise of public safety when our constitutional forthright amendments are being taken away. The cost of living is so high, many people cannot even afford property taxes these days. Given that wasted flock camera money, I would rather it go to the humans who actually take care of us, the fire and police departments. Stop the surveillance state, please post the contract to the public, and do more research regarding important decisions before just saying yes. This ACLU on their website states that less than 1% of cars scanned are connected to any crime or wrongdoing. 1% of the nation. 1 in 10 license plates scanned by flock license plate readers misread the actual state. and our misinformation, our information is actually logged into a mass surveillance database from all across the world. I'd like to see the contract. Thank you.
Thank you. Good evening, sir. Sir, your turn. Yep. Name and address, please. You have 3 minutes.
Frank McDermott, Rayburn, the not-so-free city of Livonia. I hope everyone had a good time celebrating America's 250th birthday. I did. In America, the punishment is supposed to fit the crime. Think crime. Think trespassing. Think punishment. Think ban from public buildings for life. Notice that, for life. Let's say that one more time, so you remember it. Think crime, trespassing. Think punishment. Think ban from public buildings for life. Steve King was charged with breaking and entering and trespassing at the Senior Wellness Center and the Recreation Center. What did Mr. King do? He crossed over from the Senior Wellness Center to the Recreation Center. There was not a no trespassing sign there. There was no barrier, fence, or gate. Mr. King walked into the Recreation Center, as did many other people, to look at the construction. Mr. King was charged with breaking and entering and trespassing. No one else was charged. There was no violence. There was no threats of violence. There was no property damage. There was no sexual harassment. In the district court, with the Honorable Jim Jolly presiding, the crime of breaking and entering, Judge Jolly dismissed the charge. The crime of trespassing, Mr. King pleaded no contest and received a $50 fine. I don't know if any of you have had traffic tickets lately, parking tickets. The last time I had it, been a long time, but $50 is a pretty minor amount, So Judge Jolly considered the trespassing is a minor offense in the first place, but he considered this particular trespassing offense very minor. In contrast, with the City of Livonia Recreation Commission, Ted Davis, department head, the crime was considered extremely serious. Breaking and entering and trespassing, the punishment was banned for life from the Senior Wellness Center and the Recreation Department. Banned from life. They could have gave Mr. King 20 years and I would have took care of it, but they went for life. So the question is, why such a harsh punishment? I could only speculate. My understanding, there was bad blood between Mr. Davis and Mr. King. Also, Mr. King was one of the leaders that helped defeat the $145 million bond last August. 67% of the people voted against it.
That is time, sir.
I will come back in the study session. Thank you.
Good evening, sir. Name and address for the record, please. You have 3 minutes.
Robert Haddis, 16512 Farmington Road. Ordinarily, this is the first time I've been to one of your council meetings, and I'm happy I'm here. I really wanted to get a first-hand view of how it's handled here and so forth. But my main concern, basically, I was probably better directed at the clerk. Is there a clerk here today? City clerk? There. Ms. Miller. Maybe in the future or something, shortly before elections, you can put the public and myself more in tune with what would happen in the event. Should we have monitors here and so forth, and what's our recourse? I don't think that happens, generally not here. You would take your votes, as I understand it, take it to Wayne County and so forth, and Wayne County would handle that. Is that correct? Or
Sir, please direct all your questions to me for this meeting, and
Okay.
Yep.
Well, you know what my general concern is, okay? And that concern, I think, is a little real, and I'll tell you why. Because right now we have Detroit, Lansing, and East Lansing. They're going to be receiving monitors for anybody that's been watching the news and so forth. We just had the housing bill go through in Washington and so forth without a presidential signing. And my fear is with this president and so forth, if he doesn't like the outcome of primaries that are going to be held in Michigan and possibly other places across this country. My fear is that he may entertain more monitors to push an election whichever way he wants, and that's something I don't want to see, and I want to know at that point, and that's something maybe the chair or the clerk can find out, would there be a conflict between our National Guard or state or city police and so forth? Who would have jurisdiction at that point? Would the governor retain her hand in handling a police force if there were monitors? And how would we handle a situation, particularly if they were monitors out there and if they pull somebody from the line and say you're not allowed to vote? Obviously, by the time votes are counted and that matters decided in the court, and maybe Counsel Ms. Persicone may have some insight on that also, and she could share that with the clerk or whoever this corporate counsel is for this city, and they could at least advise the city if something like that, because the one thing I do like about this city is the fact that I see a lot of people get involved in this city, more so than other cities that I've lived in, and I hope that continues. Thank you.
Thank you. Good evening, ma'am. Name and address for the record, please. You have 3 minutes.
Thank you. Denise Micah, Livonia, Michigan. I have a couple points for today. For an overall comment on when the council's approving some issues, that if the wording isn't complete or clear, and we've run into this issue on several key and contentious approvals, that there's almost like, well, maybe we'll do this later, or we could do this. If you don't have the right wording, don't give an approval. Put it in committee. Put it on, not on consent. I mean, it's just amazing how many things just fly through, and it's like, oh, well, and I've done this, I've done that. And I used to work in contracting. I know what words are, what words mean, okay? But if we're not clear on it, we don't know what you voted for. And you don't know either, because I know on the sheets last year, well, what was that actually agreed to in that meeting? Nobody knows. Okay. Another item on the Housing Commission, we still can't access that. So I'm asking if there could be instructions online that tell people how to access that. We can access the information great for City Council, boom, the date, boom, here it is, all that. I attended the Arts Commission meeting. It was wonderful, very friendly. They had the big screens up there, all their numbers, everything for us to look at. No questions. We thanked them. They asked, how did you like the meeting? We said, it was great. We loved what they did. So it can happen in some commissions. And the other thing, I did ask a question several months ago about for out-of-town seniors who belong to the senior center, if they could charge a fee for non-residents, because we're paying, if the millage passes, we're paying for all these other people to come to our city. And the other cities that I believe that people are coming from, their cities charge to come to it. Now, I'm not saying to make a huge amount. It could be 25 for the year. That's at least deferring some cost of something. So I would appreciate it, and maybe a little bit of a hike on their exercise costs or whatever. I mean, when we do the rec center, there's the city members pay, residents pay a number, and the non-residents pay another number. And I'm just asking that non-residents pay something. So that's it. Thank you.
Thank you. Good evening, ma'am. Name and address for the record, please. You have 3 minutes.
I'm Laura Janica on Munger Street. Just here to talk about a Zoom component that's going to be coming up in a committee of the whole on the 20th. We do need that Zoom component so people can participate in our city business. And I'm requesting that you do some homework before then. We got another week, make some phone calls, Google, call some other cities around here, get some ideas for how this could work. Some people say, well, bad things could happen on Zoom. Somebody could say something stupid, somebody could, be mean or nasty. Well, we've already had that. We had our pseudo-journalist come in here and literally threaten people. And he wasn't even stopped. He just got to threaten people, and we said, well, he has free speech. So I don't think that's really something to stop this for. I personally know people that would benefit by this. They could be more of a whole person. They could feel a part of the community, and they could add to the community. There are people that could really help. So I hope before the 20th we have some really good dialogue and work together on this. Thank you.
Okay, this is going to be our last one, but we do have another audience communication section at the end of our agenda. Good evening. Name and address for the record, please. You have 3 minutes.
Hi, thank you. Lynn Mills, Plymouth Road. I did find some things online in regards to the Housing Commission. And last year, Jim Ingalls, on February 13th, presented to City Council a letter asking for City Council to award the bid. There were 14 bids, and it says grubbing, clear-cut tree removal at 11981 Newburgh Road for the future affordable senior housing. Nobody was here for that study session. I don't think that's ever going to happen again because we're here now. And I have copies for everybody. Councilwoman McDonald, it is supposed to be for grubbing. It is paid for already. There should not have to be any more fees. Can you pass that to, am I allowed to pass this to?
You can just place it right there and we'll get it
Okay,
after.
thank you. And here's the letter. It was unanimously voted on by all of the city council members, all of them. And the following week, I looked at both meetings online, and city council did not take the cheapest bid. It was Berman's Tree Services for $58,500 when the lowest bid was Clear Cut Land and Tree Removal for $43,250. I'm always hearing from City Council that they go for the leanest leanest bid. I'm just a little confused. I'm not trying to throw shade on anybody, but I thought we were a tightly run city council, and we took the lowest bid. I believe Jim Ingalls said at that city council meeting that they were already here, already doing things in Livonia, but I believe that's like a $13,000 or $15,000 difference. And I just want to make sure that we don't have to pay for more people coming in and getting that cleaned out. There's a lot of tree trunks left there, and it's a hot mess over there. It looks ugly. I drive by there several times a day. It's a mess. I'm pretty sure there was a council person there recently. And can anybody tell me why there's no trespassing up there? Thank you.
Okay. That will wrap up our first audience communication. We're going to move on to council announcements, a few housekeeping items. We have new data for item number 12, and we are pulling item number 14 from the agenda. I was asked by Chief Jennison to pass along this message that they are going to be having on Thursday, July 16th at Livonia Fire Station 3, which is the fire station on 7 Mile Road, from 1 to 4 p.m., a cart seat safety check day. And just a fun fact, did you know that 4 out of 5 car seats are installed or used incorrectly? So this is it's free. They will show parents and caregivers how the car seat should be properly installed, and they will show you how your child should be strapped in. As a mom, I know it's one of the worst things to have to do is install a car seat. So you might as well have someone else do that. And I have a little flyer up here if anyone wants more info on that. And then just a reminder, the primary is on August 4th, and we have 10 days of early voting here at City Hall. It starts July 25th and runs through August 2nd, and it is every day from 9:30 to 5:30. You can come in and vote. And if you need to know any more info about that, votelivonia.gov will have all of that for you. And then I just wanted to thank Livonia for coming out to the spree. It was our safest year yet. We had 0 police reports, so I'm very excited about that. All right, which end wants to start? All right, Ms. Wazinski.
All right, I'll start. I've got a few things. Try to keep it quick. I had my coffee hour on Saturday. Thanks for everyone who attended. It was a little unique in terms of coffee hour format. The topic was the upcoming millages. There are 3, the 2 renewals here in Livonia for public safety, senior services, and cultural, and then the Wayne County transit millage that was discussed here tonight. I had representatives from police and fire, parks and rec, and Deputy Wayne County Executive Assad Turfy came to speak on all of those millages respectively, and answer questions from audiences. Because it was a unique coffee hour and people asked, I did record this one, so you can watch it on my Facebook page for City Council Carrie Budzinski. If you Google it, it should come up. If you have questions, information, and links to the city website and the county website are also there too if you want quick access to more information. So there is that. Also, it was asked about the general fund for police. Just a reminder that we currently use 70% of our general fund for public safety. The millage is for staffing and training, things of that nature. What else do I got? Oh, the other fun thing that was mentioned related to the millages is the cultural millage in Greenmead. I was there yesterday with my boys. One of the programs that's supported there is the beekeeping, which is very cool. I had honey, bought honey that is made locally in Livonia, which is good for the environment, also delicious. If you would like a tour of Greenmead to try the honey, join the big picnic on Saturday, July 25th from 12 to 3 p.m. It's a free event. There's a lot of kid activities. You know, just bring a picnic, have fun. It's a beautiful space. The community gardens are also beautiful. There's an apple orchard now too. So if you haven't been, check it out. It's a good time. And more events. This Thursday is the Livonia Women's Connection. It's an event series that I do with Laura Toy a few times a year. We're going to be at the Axe Parlor on Middlebelt Road, just north of 5 Mile, from 6 to 8. It's completely free. It's a good time. It's open to anyone, but designed for women specifically, but men come. We've had men come before. So if you're looking for something to do this Thursday night, please come and join us. And then another touch point to public comments is Wild Ones and native planting. My summer interns, Naz and Hannah, have been spearheading the revitalization of a Layton native garden in the Clement Circle neighborhood. Residents had started it before, but then they moved. So no one's really been taking care of it. So they have been working really hard with Wild Ones, with the Rotary AM, the Clement Circle Neighborhood Association. And we're doing a cleanup on Thursday, July 23rd, starting at 5:30. So if you want to come and do the cleanup, we'll be then planting native plants and just getting it cleaned up, but also creating kind of a learning lab so that others in the community, for their residents or for their neighborhood who are looking to start native plants, can kind of know what is the work that it takes, what are the good plants to put in the ground, and how do you pay for it. So if you have questions about that, feel free to reach out as well. Thank you.
Ms. Persiconi, do you have anything?
Nothing today, thank you.
Ms. Tashnik?
Just a quick one.
Sure.
I just want to thank the Chamber of Commerce. I was at their annual outing today, the Livonia Westline Chamber of Commerce. It was great to see so many businesses, large businesses, small businesses, mom and pop shops, all there participating and all with their display. So it was a really fun day. So I want to thank them. Also, Cops and Cones is August 3rd. So the police will be having free ice cream at the Handy Dip from 5 to 7 on August 3rd. So that might be a fun event to go to too. That's it.
Mr. Brockway?
Nothing tonight.
Mr. McCullough?
Yes, I have three resolutions that I'm going to see if we can get passed. First one, I would like to place in the Law and Education Committee the matter of reviewing the organization, staffing, policies, and operating procedures of the City Council office. That's the motion. I would like to move the organization, staffing, policies, and operating procedures for the City Council office to the Law and Education Committee for study and recommendation.
I'll support that.
Okay. Do you want
Thank
to
you.
expand?
Yes. This has been, since I've been on council about 6 years, I know we've changed and modified things over the past 6 years, I think, multiple times. And at the present, I think over the course of the last month has proven that I think we should do it again from a vantage point that all members of council have a say in things and direction. Specifically, for instance, right now, I know we passed an ordinance that the council office administrator would be the one providing the agenda items, and I know the clerk is doing that, so we are already out of ordinance. So I think this is something that we need to get our arms around, and I'd like to study it further. Thank you.
Okay. Any other comments from council? Comments from the audience? Madam Clerk, please take the vote.
Councilmember McCullough.
Aye.
Councilmember McDonald.
Aye.
Councilmember Budzinski.
Aye.
Councilmember Persicone.
No.
Councilmember Tashnik.
Aye.
Vice President Brockway.
Aye.
President Reed.
No. That passes 5-2.
Thank you.
Anything else?
Yep. I would also like to make a resolution for the administration to provide City Council with a report identifying all city facility rental fees that have been waived, reduced, or otherwise forgiven during the past 2 years. If I could have support.
Support.
Do you want to expand on that?
Yes. I know Councilwoman Budzinski does her coffee hours, which is great. We both, and I do my pizza events at the Senior Center, and we do pay. I just would like to ensure that more of just ensuring that nobody's getting special preferential treatment. Maybe I'm going a little bit off board on it, but I'd like to just ensure that both we are following the same policies as the rest of the city. Thank you.
Any other comments from council?
So,
Go ahead.
I guess, just for clarification, so you want a report from the administration on who's paying. Is there a specific concern that you're looking at?
I just want to ensure that if there has been things waived or reduced, that they had been following the same provisions that we are held to.
Okay.
Nothing more.
Any other comments from council? Ms. Tashnik?
I'm looking for clarification too. Are you looking at the schedule that we passed probably about a year ago? Just making sure
Pretty
everyone's in
close
line
to
with
that. I know that there is some levels of, but there's also been a ton of events. There's a lot of nonprofits. I just want to ensure that nonprofits are also taking advantage of the discount. Maybe some of them are not. Okay. So if we look at that, and maybe there are some issues that there were fees waived that there shouldn't have been. So just to look at it, that's all I'm asking. I can FOIA it, but I figure as a council member, it'd be nice just to be transparent on this.
Ms. Budzinski, go ahead.
And just for sure, we have a lot of properties for rental, so I guess the question, are you concerned about facility usage at a certain location?
This is just for anything that was, just as I stated, let me go back to it, it would be waived, discounted. It wouldn't have been a full price rental. I don't care about that. I just want to see the things that were discounted or waived fees, as I stated in the original motion, as I said. That's it.
That's fine. I didn't know how we track those kind of things, so I was just like.
Oh, it's easy. It's all on, I think even on the park side, it's all on Civic Rec. They have means to do so. Listen, I know we kind of fought that, and I can talk to the audience. So me personally, I do a pizza event at the Senior Center. And up until this year, it was waived because it was just for city information. Now I'm being charged $90 every time to educate the community. I appreciate it. Councilwoman Budzinski, you were in kind of the same position. I understand that politics can go into it, but our job is to serve the community. And while $90 is $90, I'm happy to pay it. I just think giving amenities to the residents and also having to pay $90, it is what it is. I just want to ensure that there is no one else getting preferential treatment behind the scenes.
Ms. Budzinski?
Well, and I mean, I was wondering if that's what your concern is, and it's something that we have discussed before, and I think, you know, you and I are on the same page of this, of that it is official council business, and that, you know, facility usage for city business should be allowed. So do you want to talk about that instead?
No, I just want to ensure, and then maybe further going back, I'm fine to pay it. I don't want to get into, you know, there's a lot of things that we don't air out that are frustrating. And, you know, obviously to the citizens and residents, you know, you just look at it and go, hey, you guys, you know, get paid a stipend to do so. I don't care, like I said, about the $90. I just find it very intriguing that it started this year. Especially while you were doing yours, I'm doing mine, and we're providing an amenity to the public. I get it, I do. I just want to see before a further motion, maybe discussing, just ensuring that nobody else has been taking advantage of that, that we're not able to.
Well,
that's it.
Do we want to put this?
Is what I can. Mr. McCall, would you mind if we did put it in committee to discuss? Because
I mean, I can FOIA. I just would like
I'm
to
not
see.
saying we could have that information
we'd like
brought
to
to
do-
committee, because
Let's stick with the original resolution,
Yes.
and then if we think we need to discuss it in a committee, let's go there. We don't need to go back and forth all night, because we don't even know what the data is and what we're discussing, if there is even anything to discuss here.
But
Go ahead.
I would like to put it in committee, though, because it is something that we've discussed before, and it is something that I feel was.
So if I may,
It was it has been an ongoing issue.
I understand.
And I would like clarification.
Okay, we're done going back and forth. Would you like to keep your original resolution, Mr. McCullough?
Yes.
Okay. Ms. McDonald?
Can you repeat it, please, so we all have clarification?
I was going to say.
And if, just to even expand on it, I will, and I'm not going off topic here, but there's another resolution that I'm going to ask for after this that kind of elaborates why I don't want to have to wait, because things are taking extremely long periods of time to receive back from the administration. So unfortunately, I'd like to go the route of a formal resolution at the dais in front of the citizens to ensure we're getting that data. Let me see. Give me a quick second. All right. I would like a resolution that the administration provide the city council with a report identifying all city facility rental fees that have been waived, reduced, or otherwise forgiven during the past 2 years.
Any other comments from council? Comments from the audience? Madam Clerk, please take the vote.
Councilmember McCullough.
Aye.
Councilmember McDonald. Aye. Councilmember Budzinski.
Aye.
Councilmember Persicone.
Aye.
Councilmember Tashnik.
Aye.
Vice President Brockway.
Aye.
President Reed.
Aye, and that passes 7-0. Mr. McCall?
Yep, thank you. I have one more. I'd like to offer a resolution that the Livonia City Council direct the Law Department to provide by the next regular meeting a written status report on all outstanding council resolution requiring legal action, including the date each resolution was adopted, the action required, the current status, and the reason for any delay.
Support.
Again, so we've got support. Again, right now, and I know Mr. Goldstein had, you know, we've been talking about staffing, but we do have members. Mr. Hauser's been patiently waiting, obviously, on our native plants. We hold the meetings, and as I give any kind of updates on where these things stand, it goes into space. And that's kind of why I wanted direct reports on certain things, because the turnaround at least seems non-existent in certain facets. We haven't got an update on at least 3 resolutions that go back 3 to 4 months. And this is, and what's more frustrating is, you know, we provided the wild time, boiler template resolution. And so the frustration that we want to do our jobs, I want to ensure that we at least have some analytics to go behind so I can tell Mr. Hauser, hey, just wait, and I want to have this meeting. I want to get some stuff done. That's the main purpose of this.
Council, Ms. Persicone?
Thank you, Madam Chair. I would just ask to the resolution or motion maker, you said by the next regular meeting, I'm guessing it's 2 weeks. I haven't looked at the calendar. I'm just not sure that that's enough time realistically.
Just an update. It was just right here. I'm not looking for the specific resolutions. I just want a status update of all the ones that are currently open and what's the delay and how long can we be looking. That's it.
Okay, so not an actual, because my
No,
concern is
absolutely.
with a man down in the law department right
Absolutely.
now. I know they're actively looking
I just would like to be able to have transparent, communication with residents to let them know a general idea, which I think all of us
Like
is fair
where
for
things
us.
are at.
Like where they're at. That Okay, thank
Yeah.
you for clarifying. That
Yes.
was what I needed clarification on.
Any other comments from council? Comments from the audience? Madam Clerk, please take the vote.
Councilmember McCullough.
Aye.
Councilmember McDonald.
Aye.
Councilmember Budzinski.
Aye.
Councilmember Persicone.
Aye.
Councilmember Tashnik.
Aye.
Vice President Brockway.
Aye.
President Reed.
Aye, and that passes 7-0.
All right.
Anything else?
No more resolutions, but some more fun. Obviously, over this past week, I was not able to attend, and I know many of you, most of the council was there for the 250th. I seen some pictures. I was in Connecticut. Harper had a AAA girls hockey tournament where she was playing against teams from all around the world. But it did look super fun, and I know Mr. Joyner, if he's watching, well done. I know he kind of spearheaded it, Mr. McDonald. Everybody looked so good. It was awesome to see. It was a great event from my vantage point. I wish I could have been there. And kudos to the entire Livonia team that put it through. It was quite remarkable and something to build on. I mean, maybe we do the 250 first, but it was one of those things that kind of brought everybody together, and I didn't see any redcoats running around. I think I seen someone in a shirt with a British flag or something on it, which was kind of funny. But kudos to everybody that participated. It looked wonderful, and I'm really upset that I did have to miss it. And then I'll leave you guys with this. I'm hopefully in one piece right now, but in 3 weeks I will be in Prague representing the United States on the ball hockey floor, taking off against Czech Republic, Canada, Slovakia, and England. Right now, no high expectations because this is the 45 and up Legends team, but if I can come back in one piece, that's good. And then my next journey is going to be a walking stick. So I will make sure it's going to be on Czech TV or maybe the ESPN Ocho, and I will get that information out there. So go USA.
Ms. McDonald, anything?
Oh, I do, thank you. On a lighter note, I would like to congratulate our June 2026 new retirees. First announcement is for Benjamin McDermott, Deputy Chief of Police. He was with our department for 47 years, and I talked to Ben a few times before he retired, and I know how nervous he was because he really didn't want to do it, I don't think. But Ben, if you're watching, enjoy. I know you'll enjoy it. It'll take about a year, but it definitely is a good thing. Secondly is Marciana Jankowicz, account clerk 2. She worked for the city for 11 years and 9 months, and I apologize if I didn't pronounce your last name correctly. And lastly, Susan E. Schwartz, Administrative Assistant 1. She worked for the city of Livonia for 10 years, 6 months. So congratulations to them. And just a reminder and to thank everyone who attend these meetings and who reach out to us. It's very important to keep that communication open. Just remember, if you see something, say something, whether you're a community member, an employee, or just somebody driving through the city, please let us know if there's anything we need to work on and improve. We're not perfect. We get a lot of emails, sometimes on a daily basis, so sometimes I get a little lost, but if we don't, poke us again, and we'd be more than happy to get back with you. Anyway, thank you.
Thank you. I have actually two more things. I'm sorry I didn't say. So I did look into the flock cameras because we received an email about that. And for the resident that was looking for the contract, it was first on the study, September 26, 2025. So it should be in that packet. And then it was voted on the regular 6-0 on October 6, 2025. So the contract is in that packet. But I can also send it to the resident if you want to email me at kreed@livonia.gov. I can send it to you. And then lastly, we're supposed to get a ton of heat this week. A ton of heat. We're supposed to get very hot temperatures this week. And just a reminder, the rec center is open as a cooling center. Their normal operating hours. If you need to have a place to go cool down. Okay, so we will jump into the rest of the agenda now. We'll start with reports from the mayor and other city officials. We received communication from the Department of Finance dated June 5th, 2026, and it was forwarding the departmental purchases report for the month ending May 31st, 2026, and we have received and filed. And I am now going to move on to the consent agenda. Items 1 through 9 on the consent agenda will be voted on as one item. These items were previously discussed at the study meeting that took place on June 15th, 2026, and determined to be non-controversial. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Support.
Motion by McDonald, support by McCullough. Any comments from council? Comments from the audience? Madam Clerk, please take the vote.
Councilmember McCullough.
Aye.
Councilmember McDonald.
Aye.
Councilmember Budzinski.
Aye.
Councilmember Persiconi.
Aye.
Councilmember Tashnik.
Aye.
Vice President Brockway.
Aye.
President Reed.
Aye, and the consent agenda passes 7-0. Now moving on to unfinished business. We had a Finance and Budget Committee meeting on June 8th, 2026. I'm going to hand this over to Councilwoman Tashnik, the chair of that committee.
Thank you, Madam Chair. So I apologize, I wasn't at the last meeting, so that's why we didn't report out right away, but this is a really important meeting that we held on our audit. The full packet is posted online. It is 10 pages. I'm not going to read all 10 pages to you. I'm going to hit the highlights, but it is all there. Committee members present, of course, I was there as the committee chair. Robin Persiconi is my vice chair, and then Carrie Budzinski is the member. Other city officials present, Kaylee Weed, our president, Patrick Brockway, our vice president, Brandon McCullough and Eileen McDonald, council members, Maureen Miller-Brosnan, our mayor, Eric Goldstein, city attorney, Benjamin Greer, our finance director, and then we had Keith Szymanski and Stephanie Atkinson from Plant Moran, who did most of the presentation, and then we also had quite a few residents in attendance. We opened the meeting at 7:04 with an explanation of the budgeting process, including the audit, the development of the annual budget, the public hearing, and council vote to approve in the fall. The meeting was then turned over to Plant Moran to report out on the audit. Purpose and scope. So the independent evaluation of City of Livonia's financial statements for the fiscal year ending November 30th, 2025. It was a retrospective review of the city's financial results and year-end position. And this covers thousands of transactions, including property tax receipts, operating expenses, capital improvements, pension payments, and debt payments. Now, we've been asked a lot, the role of the auditors. It's really one question. Do the financial statements fairly present the city's financial position and state in all material respects in accordance with generally accepted accounting principles? And they call this GAAP, G-A-A-P. So that was one of the big deals. We do use Plant Moran. Plant Moran's most recent peer review received the highest rating, and they're very proud of that as well. As far as the financial statements, the overall opinion, it was an unmodified opinion, which is the highest level of assurance, also known as a clean audit report. There were no significant misstatements or significant issues with internal controls identified. No findings related to financial statement audits, and the books and records are in excellent condition. There was key communications and findings. There was an end of audit letter to City Council, which covered 3 sections. It was a required communication under the auditing standards, the recommendations and commentary on all of our financial statements, and then any legislative and informational items. We did have some new accounting pronouncements. the compensated absences last year that was implemented during fiscal 2025. Those compensated absences, it's a technical term for paid time off, vacation, sick time, et cetera, required the city to measure and calculate the long-term liability differently than we previously did. And the process involved reviewing all union and employee agreements and applying new rules to the employee time banks. Dollar impact was not significant, and it did not materially impact our financial statements. There were two very minor items identified and brought to the city's attention. We'll call these uncorrected misstatements. They were qualified as immaterial, not material threshold, largely timing differences that would resolve in the next fiscal year, and the city elected not to adjust due to immaterial nature, and it did not impact the audit opinion. There were no difficulties encountered in performing the audit and no disagreements with management. As far as the general fund, our fund balance, we added $2.1 million to the fund balance during fiscal 2025. Our current fund balance, and when I say current, this is as of November 30th of 2025, end of fiscal year, was $20.2 million. That fund balance measurement is 28% of current year expenditures, approximately 3.3 months of expenses. Best practice recommends 2 to 3 months of expenditures and fund balance, so we're there. We exceed best practice. Our fund balance history, post-recession low was approximately around 2008, was about $6 million. Our current level is more than triple that post-recession amount. Growth reflects council and management diligence in adjusting budget to align with lower post-recession revenue levels. Our budget performance, expenditures were $3 million less than we budgeted. Revenue was $236,000 higher than the amended budget. So overall performance, general fund did $3.2 million better than the amended budget. However, before we get excited about that, the primary factor was that the police department was significantly under budget due to vacancies throughout the year. Revenue results, our total general fund revenue is $75 million, increase of 5% from the previous year. And the primary driver is, as taxable values go up, so do property taxes. And so that was $2.5 million from property taxes. Our revenue breakdown, property taxes make our largest source. That's 56% of our total. That was a little bit of a over 6% increase, and that was the taxable value I just mentioned. Intergovernmental revenue, our second largest source, fairly consistent with the prior year. And then other categories for revenue would include interest, fines, forfeitures, charges for services, license permit, etc. Expenditure results, total expenditures were up about $2 million from the previous year. That's about 2%. Public safety is our largest category at roughly 2/3, and that remained flat from 2024 to 2025 due to police department vacancies. Employee benefits, transfers, and other, that's the most significant category change, including a $2.4 million transfer to the Building Improvement Fund. We did talk at length about legacy cost assessments. These are pension plans, the legacy employee retirement system, the police and fire revised retirement plans, and I've got that all posted in the packet. I won't sit here and read those pages. Non-major funds analysis, there were a couple. They talked a lot about the cable television fund. Our fund balance in 21 was over $860,000. Currently, it's at $70,000. This is a concerning trend. Declined significantly over a 4-year period. Root causes, revenue from cable companies are just truly declining. Fewer customers are paying for cable, which means fewer franchise fees. Operating costs are increasing at the same time, and the revenues are just not sufficient to cover expenses for each of the last few years. They did have a recommendation that we need to look closely during the fiscal 2026 budget preparation at this and probably evaluate staffing levels, service levels, and expenditure appropriateness given revenue constraints. And we will need to be strategic on our decisions regarding this. Another non-major fund that they talked about was the adjudicated forfeiture fund. Assets are about $3.2 million. That source, that is the money received by the police department from federal law enforcement agencies after assets seized and forfeited in the court process. Agencies are permitted to keep money and split among the involved agencies, but there are very strict spending rules. It has to be spent on law enforcement activities only. It cannot be used to supplement our city's budget, cannot fund salaries or purchases already planned. It can fund extra equipment or purchase beyond normal police department budget. So it gives us an opportunity for some discretionary law enforcement equipment or project funding. We did talk also about the internal controls and financial system. There is a recommendation to continue to work with our software vendor on improvements, implement changes, and efficiencies going forward. And then we also talked about the federal awards audit result. This is anything that we received from, shared services there. The federal cash management policy finding, we did have an issue there. Federal guidelines require written policies for entities spending federal money. Cash management policy has to document how city processes receipts and payments related to any federal funds. The policy did not exist during the audit period, but it does now. So our corrective action, our finance director has drafted policy, and it will be in place going forward. So that was noted in the audit report. And then really the last thing, they talked about some accounting changes and legislative items. The first one being cybersecurity and IT controls. It's a significant risk, not just to the city, but the public sector as well. Bad actors are becoming more sophisticated now using AI. So we have to, look at any financial and operational risk that the city might have. Recommendation is that the city continue vigilance, stay ahead of threats, keep a close eye on IT controls, and consider a periodic engagement of maybe an outside vendor for a checkup and controls testing. The other was the state road funding changes. Recommendation is that the city needs to closely monitor during the next budget cycle to understand how these actual changes in funding flows are going to, occur. Comparison to some of our peers in the area, unrestricted net position. Livonia generally has a lower percent of unrestricted net position compared to other cities, but that's because we have a different tax structure here. We use a more detailed, specific millage rates earmarked for specific purposes, as we know we're going to be voting on. Other communities use a large operating millage that all goes into a just open general fund that is unrestricted. Now, are there advantages and disadvantages to this? Of course. The advantage is to show residents accountability for money and its intended purpose. The disadvantage is there is less flexibility than unrestricted millages. It requires a strict silo management. Designated funds have to remain in silos with revenue spent on intended purpose. For example, we can't use parks money for DPW vehicles, police millage for a city hall, library money for a road repair, etc. Last but not least, our audit quality assurance. Plant Moran was the firm that did it. They are one of the largest in the country, serves thousands of clients across many industries in all 50 states. They were founded in Southeast Michigan over 100 years ago, and they provide these services to us with pride. They do audit many of the largest and most complex governmental entities in Michigan, including 8 of the 12 largest cities. They told us how important their reputation was and that they would never compromise independence and objectivity. The meeting adjourned at 7:59. The subject matter will remain in committee as a standing item, and the recommendation is to receive and file the 2025 audit as submitted. Thank you.
Thank you. That was great.
If anyone can't sleep tonight, the other 10 pages are posted online.
Okay. All right, moving on to external requests. Item number 11, block party. This comes from Allison Adams to be held Saturday, July 18th, 2026 from 2 p.m. to 10 p.m. on Flamingo Boulevard between Clarita Avenue and Pickford Street with a rain date of Saturday, August 1st, 2026. Is Miss Adams here tonight? Hi. Good evening. Name and address for the record, please.
Hi, Allison Adams, 18632 Flamingo Boulevard.
Do you want to tell us a little bit about your event?
So this is, I think, our 6th time doing it. I've been unofficially elected as the chair but I have like a little committee now. So we just get together, we kick it off with a bike parade for the kids, and like families have joined too in the past. The kids and everyone decorates their bikes or Power Wheels or whatever they want to do. One of our neighbors has a speaker. We ride up and down the road a few times. We have one neighbor who has consistently donated hot dogs and hamburgers for the whole block. We've got 2 designated grillers, and then everyone brings a side dish and a dessert. We play yard games. One of our neighbors owns Acme Party Rentals, and he always brings a bounce house for everyone, and we just have a good time.
Great. That's a good neighbor to have. Council?
Motion to approve.
Support.
Motion by Budzinski, support by Tashnik. Any comments from council? Comments from the audience? Madam Clerk, please take the vote.
Councilmember McCullough.
Aye.
Councilmember McDonald.
Aye.
Councilmember Budzinski.
Aye.
Councilmember Persicone.
Aye.
Councilmember Tashnik.
Aye.
Vice President Brockway.
Aye.
President Reed.
Aye, and item number 11 passes 7-0. Have a great time.
Thank you all.
Item number 12, this is a request to extend waiver use approval to new owner, High Pie, in connection with petition 2019-04-02-07, in order to operate a massage establishment located on the west side of Middlebelt Road between Puritan Avenue and 6 Mile Road, 16345 Middlebelt, in the northeast quarter of Section 14. Good evening.
Good evening.
Name and address for the record,
My name
please.
is Doug Rands. The address is 16345 Middlebelt. There's a mistake in item 12. The new owner is Jingyu Chen, Miss Chen. High Pie is the current owner seeking to have her waiver approved to transfer to Miss Chen.
Okay, thank you. Council, any follow-up questions for the petitioner
We need a
from
motion
this?
since it's on the regular. Someone needs to make a motion before we can talk.
Council?
Thank you. I would be offering a motion to approve. However, I did.
Hold on, you have to offer a motion, and we can
Support.
for.
Oh, okay.
So offer a motion then.
It'll be conditional, so I'll call it a conditional motion to approve. If I can make a conditional motion to
We'll
approve.
have to do that after.
Okay,
So are you going to make a motion?
make a motion to approve.
Okay, I need support.
I'll offer support for sake of discussion.
Okay, motion by Persicone, support by Tashnik. The floor is yours, Ms. Persicone.
Thank you. So I did, when I was doing some independent research on this, the LLC that the DBA is operating under, and I want to say the correct, it was Yo-Yo. Let me just find the LLC's name.
他说这个有限公司是在一个人的名字，这个名字叫做悠悠。
Ocean Wellness LLC?
No, hold on, I'm sorry, just give me 1 second to find the attachment on the agenda.
No.
It was one. I had the wrong attachment open, my apologies.
You're talking about Yo-Yo Spa LLC?
That's it, Yo-Yo Spa LLC, thank you. That appeared to not be in good standing with the state of Michigan.
The current LLC is Ocean Wellness LLC and is at 16345 Middlebelt.
So,
Yo-Yo.
so Yo-Yo Spa is not a part of this entity?
It's not known to us.
Okay, so the current owner,
High
Pie.
owns Ocean Wellness LLC. It's been registered at that address for 7 years and operating without any trouble or any violations.
That is correct. I didn't see any issue with that entity that you just named, but with Yo-Yo, some did come up. Do we know where that came from?
I have no idea who Yo-Yo is.
Okay.
Is that possibly the prior buyer that backed out?
It is. That is.
Okay, is that the
That
clarification?
was from last year, a different owner who owns the property at Plymouth and Stark, I believe.
Okay.
That was approved.
Thank you for
fell
that.
through,
That was my only clarification that I wanted to make sure that if Yo-Yo was involved in this transaction.
Yo-Yo's not involved. Sherry Lou is not involved. Ms. Pang is not involved. This is a completely different buyer.
Excellent. Okay, then my motion to approve will just be a motion to approve in light of that information. Thank you for clarifying.
Okay, any other comments from council? Ms. McDonald?
Thank you. I have some questions for Ms. Chen.
我现在有些问题要问你 ，OK， 陈女士。
Okay, thank you. Currently, who do you work for now?
是你目前跟谁工作？你的老板是谁？
我是做他的老板，我不知道，他就就是这个后面那个叫什么名字？我忘记了，他叫什么名字？叫姓于，我只知道他于老板，不知道名字。
Okay, I'm currently, working for Miss Yu, and yeah, I only call her Boss Yu.
姓于。
Yeah, her last name is Yu. So.
I'm sorry, I couldn't understand your.
So
Can you come closer to the microphone?
She has. Okay, I have been
Okay, no,
Okay,
that's fine.
councils, this is, my name is Stephanie, I'm the interpreter, so from now on, when I talk, I'm actually talking.
Yes,
with her.
we understand.
I don't
Right,
exist.
no, I
Yes, we
understand.
Okay, so I personally working only part-time for somebody's last name who is Miss Yu, Y-U, okay.
Okay, so she currently is working part-time for somebody. I guess,
是有跟人家就是不是全职的在做，对吧？Yes.
okay, all right, great. And what other businesses have you worked for in the state of Michigan? And if not within the state of Michigan, where else throughout the United States have you worked?
所以呢，就是目前呢，你除了在密西根之外，这里是你还有没有为其他的公司工作过？如果有的，还有就是第二个问题就是说，如果是在全美来讲，你有没有在其他的州工作过？
其他州当然工作过呀。
你哪些州？
我就在华盛顿州。
Washington State. I used to work in Washington State.
Okay. Okay, and how long ago was that?
那么你在华盛顿做了多久？10 years.
10 years ago?
你是说10年前还是做了10年？
基本上前后10年工作。
Yes, I have worked in Washington for 10 years altogether. Yeah.
我这里一起嘛，到这里来一起，就是反正爬在一起，就是10年。
Yeah. So 10 years is the answer.
Okay. And, okay, because I'll have a follow-up question to that, but how long has she been practicing in the state of Michigan?
在密西根，你在这行做了多少年呢
？30年了。
大学的
4年。
4 years.
4 years. Okay. And I have a question in reference to the state of Washington because I did a little research on that, and there was that you were sanctioned by the Washington State Department of Health in July of 2022 following an investigation into their massage business, and it had to do with failure to display employee licenses, missing client medical conditions, and unsanitary business conditions. And there was like a 24-month probation for that. So can you confirm if that was you? Because it says Xing Yu Chen, and it gives a license number of MA60115256.
这样子的，就是说，他说他做了一些调查，他发现你在2022年的7月份，你在华盛顿州呢，你有被制裁过，因为原因就是因为你好像没有这个执照，还有就是环境没有卫生，所以他们就给了你24个月的缓刑。那么我不晓得那个人就是你，那我跟你核对一下你的那个执照的 MA60115256。Yeah, that's me.
Okay. Madam President, if I may.
Ms. Persconi?
I would like to withdraw my motion to approve at this time. Something else that I would like to be able to, well, I'll make another motion I'm going to make a motion to withdraw my approval at this time.
Does your supporter?
That's fine.
Okay.
所以我目前呢，我要将我本来愿意通过的这一个动议呢，我把它收回。
Madam Chair,
Give us 1 second. We have to have another motion before we can continue to talk.
I'll offer denying motion.
Support.
Motion by McCullough, support by Ms. Budzinski. Any comments from council? Any comments from the audience? Madam Clerk, please take the vote.
Councilmember McCullough.
Aye.
Councilmember McDonald.
Aye.
Councilmember Budzinski.
Aye.
Councilmember Persicone.
Aye.
Councilmember Tashnik.
Aye.
Vice President Brockway.
Aye.
President Reed.
Aye. Item number 12 was denied 7-0.
所以呢，现在你的这个要求被拒绝。
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, moving on to item number 13. This is proposed amendment to the Livonia Code of Ordinance as amended for Stephen J. Ritma, Hanemang LLP to amend Chapter 3.12 Senior Citizens Housing Tax Exemption. I need a first read on this one.
I'll offer a first read.
Okay, first read by Ms. Budzinski. All right, moving on to item number 14. This comes from the Department of Law. It's a roll call. Proposed amendment to the Livonia Code of Ordinances as amended, petition 2026-03-03-01, submitted by 7 Mile and Farmington Venture LP, requesting to vacate their existing water main and scenic easements at 33500 7 Mile Road, and the first reading was given by Councilmember Budzinski on June 15th, 2026.
I'll offer a second read.
Okay, thank you. Second read by Ms. Budzinski.
Support.
Support by Tashnik. Can we get a motion?
Motion to approve, sorry.
Okay, motion by, also motion by Ms. Budzinski, support by Tashnik. Any comments from council? Comments from the, Ms. McDonald?
Just, because I'm getting a little sidetracked here. We are looking at number 14.
Correct. Remember, we removed the original
Not
item
on ours.
14, so then the rest of the items get moved up a number.
okay.
So we're,
All right.
it's actually 15
Okay,
on your
no
paper,
worries. I'm
but.
just making-
Sorry.
No, that's okay.
Sorry. Any other comments from council? Comments from the audience? Madam Clerk, please take the vote.
Councilmember McCullough.
Aye.
Councilmember McDonald.
Aye.
Councilmember Budzinski.
Aye.
Councilmember Persiconi.
Aye.
Councilmember Tashnik.
Aye.
Vice President Brockway.
Aye.
President Reed.
Aye. And item number 14 passes 7-0. Moving on to item number 15, this comes from the Department of Law. It's the acceptance of grant of easement secured without monetary consideration from A&R Packing Co. Incorporated for a storm sewer easement in connection with the storm sewer constructed in connection with A&R Packing Co. Incorporated in the northwest quarter of Section 28. Tax ID number 46-109-03-0822-012.
Motion for approval?
Support.
Motion by McCullough, support by Tashnik. Any comments from council? Comments from the audience? Madam Clerk, please take the vote.
Councilmember McCullough.
Aye.
Councilmember McDonald.
Aye.
Councilmember Budzinski.
Aye.
Councilmember Persiconi.
Aye.
Councilmember Tashnik.
Aye.
Vice President Brockway.
Aye.
President Reed.
Aye. Item number 15 passes 7-0. Moving on to item number 16, this is another acceptance of grant of easement secured without monetary consideration from A&R Packing Co. Incorporated for a storm sewer easement in connection with the storm sewer constructed in connection with A&R Packing Co. Incorporated in the northwest quarter of Section 28. Tax ID number 46-110-99-0003-003.
Madam Chair, offer approving.
Support.
Motion by Brockway, support by McCullough. Comments from council? Comments from the audience? Madam Clerk, please take the vote.
Councilmember McCullough.
Aye.
Councilmember McDonald.
Aye.
Councilmember Budzinski.
Aye.
Councilmember Persiconi.
Aye.
Councilmember Tashnik.
Aye.
Vice President Brockway.
Aye.
President Reed.
Aye. Item number 16 passes 7-0. Item number 17, this is an acceptance of grant of easement secured without monetary consideration from Techno Sports LLC for a storm sewer easement in connection with the storm sewer constructed in connection with A&R Packing Co. Incorporated in the northwest quarter of Section 28. This is tax ID number 46-109-03-0822-009.
So move.
Support.
Motion by McCullough, support by Tashnik. Comments from council? Comments from the audience? Madam Clerk, please take the vote.
Councilmember McCullough.
Aye.
Councilmember McDonald.
Aye.
Councilmember Budzinski.
Aye.
Councilmember Persiconi.
Aye.
Councilmember Tashnik.
Aye.
Vice President Brockway.
Aye.
President Reed.
Aye. Item number 17 passes 7-0. Moving on to item number 18. This is a request to schedule a closed committee of the whole meeting for the purpose of discussing pending litigation and attorney-client privilege communications with respect to Sean Day versus City of Livonia. It's a Wayne County Circuit Court case number 25-01-0729-NI.
Madam Chair,
Ms. Tashnik?
motion to approve.
Support.
Motion by Tashnik, support by everyone. I'm kidding. Support by, I think, Budzinski.
Sure.
Okay, comments from council? Comments from the audience? Madam Clerk, please take the vote.
Councilmember McCullough.
Aye.
Councilmember McDonald.
Aye.
Councilmember Bazinski.
Aye.
Councilmember Persiconi.
Aye.
Councilmember Tashnik.
Aye.
Vice President Brockway.
Aye.
President Reed.
Aye, and item number 18 passes 7-0. That concludes our agenda items, and we will now move on to our second audience communication for anyone that did not speak at the beginning, and for anything that is not on the agenda, please state your name and address. You have 3 minutes to talk. Good evening.
Good evening. My name is Debbie McDermott, Livonia, Michigan. Last month, because it's been a month since the meeting, so a little refresher here, Frank McDermott spoke about the ramp, the temporary ramp, and the news report on Channel 7 that the ramp that we spent $20,000 on the temporary ramp, and the permanent ramp would cost $6,000 to $8,000 and only take about a week to construct. And he asked if that was, if the person misspoke, sorry, but this was his item, so I'm not as quite versed on it. But anyway, asked if the TV person had misspoke. All right, so that night, after the meeting was done, we had a little chat with Mrs. Persiconi. We appreciate that. And then Mr. Zelenik, the city engineer, for those that don't know that, watching at home, as I'm fumbling through this, he spoke with us, and he said that the cement ramp will be revised. This is from a note, so you guys will remember this. But he said it would be completed for the August 2026 voting. He even mentioned possibly by the beginning of July. It would take 7 to 10 days to complete, and that the temporary ramp was put in place for something to use while the permanent ramp is under construction. As in, it wasn't just put in place as a ramp for those with physical disabilities that need it now. So Frank mentioned that, well, the $20,000 price tag seemed a bit high, but he said, Mr. Zelenik said, well, any work that needs to be done today is high. True. Okay, so now it's been a month, and we didn't expect to see it by the beginning of July. That was a little bit unrealistic. But when he said, it would be there by the voting, and it would only take 7 to 10 days to do, we thought, that's doable. All right, so, we've been driving by. We don't see any work done on a cement ramp. And so Frank spoke with Mr. Lear today because Mr. Zelenik is on vacation, I understand. And Mr. Lear said that the cement ramp won't be happening, that the administration put that on hold, and we won't be spending the $6,000 to $8,000 on that right now. Now, unfortunately, that seems like, I don't know how he said it on the phone, but $6,000 to $8,000 is a drop in a bucket, okay? The buckets, Mrs. Tashnik mentions, that's not very much money to make a permanent solution, and if it only takes 7 to 10 days, I think that's really sad, all right? He had said that, when we mentioned about the $20,000 versus the $6,000 to $8,000, well, really, it's a combined amount. It's going to cost the $20,000 to get the temporary ramp that's out there, and the other $8,000 to get the whole thing done. So I just wanted to let all of you know if you haven't heard anything, and for the viewing audience.
Thank you, ma'am. That is time. Good evening, sir. Name and address for the record, please. You have 3 minutes.
Good evening, Jerry Kersinski, 19488 Bainbridge Avenue. Is it possible for me to comment on the Finance and Budget Committee annual audit report? Just a comment of clarification about one thing that was said.
In like 20 minutes at the study.
Okay, I will do it then. Thank you.
Thanks. Ma'am, you already spoke at the earlier audience communication. Sorry. Good evening, sir. Name and address for the record, please. You have 3 minutes.
Jim Bigga, Livonia, Michigan. A couple of things I'd like to talk about. The first being when Ms. Mills talked about the removal of the trees at Newburgh and Plymouth. I don't think you all understand what she meant by that fancy term, the removal. That's the stumps. The city of Livonia already paid $50,000 to have the stumps removed, and the city didn't get the stumps removed. That's criminal. You already paid for it. The contractor has been reimbursed. The city did not receive 100% of what was under the contract. That's malfeasance. Whoever signed off on the invoices needs to be schooled on what needs to happen. The department head needs to be schooled. The mayor needs to be schooled on what to tell everybody when they don't follow the rules. Additionally, I want to talk about the bus millage. I'm not going to complain. I think we need transportation. I'm not in favor of the millage because I don't think the millage is going to deliver what it says. But I am very much opposed to the fact that Wayne County is using taxpayer money to print up, advertise, and tell everybody how to vote. They can call it whatever it is, but the Wayne County Transit Authority is Wayne County administration. They're using taxpayer money to come out and tell you how to vote on the bus situation. That said, I don't believe there are 3 routes, 7 Mile, Middle Belt, and Newburgh, Haggerty, is going to provide all the services that the city of Livonia needs. I mean, really? Middle Belt has been served on and off for my life. 7 Mile occasionally during my life. Joy Road was serviced under my life. I used it. I went downtown with my parents. But it's not going to be serviced in everybody. How are people who live at 5 Mile going to get to 7 Mile? Going to get down to Plymouth Road to go anywhere? Live and Go is going to be there? No. Live and Go needs to be fixed. Live and Go should be working all the hours, so that poor lady who came here should be able to go home after the end of the city council meeting or any meetings here that the city runs. Or if she was at the rec center, it should be running all the hours that the city is operating. It shouldn't end at 6 o'clock. And shame, shame, shame that you allow the Housing Commission to run Live and Go and not somebody who really respects the residents of the city of Livonia, only those people who go at the Housing Commission. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other audience communication? Council, can I get a motion?
Motion to adjourn.
Support.
Motion by Tashnik, support by Persicone. We will be back at 8:45 for the study.